What's up, FPS family? We're back today with a guide for you. If you didn't get that opening clip, that's alright. I recently did a Yoru only to Diamond series, and I finally reached the rank of Diamond, and I decided that it was time to teach you what I learned playing Yoru. Some of the clips I'll be using is from that series, and if you want to see that series, I'll link it in the description as well as it'll be on the screen now. So we'll start by going through his kit. The first ability that Yoru has is called Fake Out. It costs 100 credits and you could buy 2 of them. When you equip this ability, you get a set of footsteps that you could either activate by pressing your fire key and it'll send it out for 10 seconds, or you could press your alternative fire or your scope in button and you will place them in a spot and you can go somewhere else and activate it later. Your enemy cannot see these footsteps when you place them, but they can see them once you activate them. There are many great ways to use this skill. One of the biggest ones is creating fakes and baiting utility. So you could set these footsteps on a different bomb site, go to the other side, and once your team's all grouped up, you send out those footsteps, and your enemy will hear 2 sets of footsteps running up somewhere, and they'll make the call out. Once you hear a rotate, you could push the other site. Now the one downside is these footsteps do sound different, and you could tell the difference when you're really close to them, but when you're further away, they're gonna sound more similar. The fake footsteps have a deeper sound to them, and the real ones sound lighter. One of my favorite ways to use these fake footsteps is to fake a defuse. So if you get to the bomb and place your footsteps using your right click and then activate them right before hopping onto the bomb, to your enemy it's going to sound like you fake defused and then moved. And if they don't think through it quick enough and consider the fact that you might have faked, you get the full defuse off, and you'll see that clip playing in the background now. These footsteps could also be used to fake TPs, and it's a great use for them on bind. One of my favorite things to do with these is to set them up next to a teleporter on A site on bind when I'm defending. Before the round starts, I'll set one set of footsteps to go straight through and through the door, and one step to go inside but not through the door. And at the start of the round, I'll send them out every single time. After that, at some point I'll switch it up and send the footsteps that go through the door still the same way, but I myself will go through the door as the second set of footsteps. I'll always throw my teleport onto A, so in case there is an A rush, I could teleport back. And this way I could walk through the teleporter and they won't be expecting me since they're used to those 2 fakes coming through. I'll also do the same thing with 3 sets of footsteps and myself and then teleport back to A site, and that way they think that I'm in teleporter but I'm actually back on A site. The next ability he has is Blindside. It costs 200 credits and you can buy 2 of them. This blind works differently than all other flashes in the game, as in order for it to activate, it has to first bounce off a solid object. This could be any surface, it could be the floor, walls, it could actually even be another player. Once it does bounce off something, it then activates and your enemy could hear it, and after 1 second it detonates. This flash is very interesting in the game, and there's a few interesting pop flashes you could set up, but I think the biggest downside of this flash is how loud it is, and it's quite easy to turn around from. The nice thing about it is it has unlimited range basically. You could throw it anywhere. You could throw it from top mid in ascent all the way into market for your teammates. But at the same time you want to be careful, because if you bounce it wrong it's going to go right into your teammate's face. The next ability he has is called Gate Crash, and this lets you place a rift portal somewhere. If you press your fire key, it sends it out in a straight line for 20 seconds, and it won't stop until it gets stuck somewhere, so it's going to carry the inertia. You could use this to send to places like A site while you play B site and teleport there, or you could do aggressive plays with it and send it behind your enemies, flash yourself in and teleport behind this. You've seen me do this. This is the riskier play, and I wouldn't advise it as much. I'd advise you to use it more passively. For instance, you could use all his kit by first pushing for your team, flashing, sending out your fake footsteps, leaving your TP back to hold the flank and teleport back and hold the flank. That way you are able to utilize your whole kit. This skill kind of works like Jets. After 2 kills, it resets. His last ability, his ultimate ability, is called Dimensional Drift. It allows you to equip a mask that puts you in a different dimension, and you are able to run around that dimension for 9 seconds, and you won't take any damage. Your enemies won't see you unless you're in this confined circle that you could see around yourself, and they won't hear you unless they're in that range. You could ping your enemies, and your enemies will also show up on the minimap for your teammates to see when you see them. This ability is great for getting out of sticky situations and repositioning, and it's also great for scouting. There used to be a trick that you could do if you quickly used your gate crash before you exited the dimensional drift, you'd be able to safely TP back, but that since has been changed, and if you do try to do that now, if your enemy has quick enough reflexes, they could kill you before you TP back. And you gotta be careful when you come out of this ultimate because it is very loud. Everyone can tell when you came out, and if they're anywhere near you, they're gonna be able to tell where you came out of it from. So don't think you could just run up behind your enemy, come out of the dimensional drift, and kill them right there without them knowing that you're right behind them. It is possible, and I've done it. You've seen me do it in my clips. Sometimes when your ult's running out, you have nothing else to do. Just come right out right in front of someone's face and try to kill them. Sometimes you'll catch them off guard and they won't be able to react, but I want to suggest it. So overall, I really enjoyed playing Yoru and learning his kit. I think he has great potential. I do think he needs a little bit more of a buff. I think his skills are a little too loud still. Like when he TPs, it's loud. You could tell where he is. When he comes out of his dimensional drift, it's loud. You could tell where he is pretty much. But he has great outplay potential. So there's so many great ways you could play him. And if you're creative with him, you can make some great plays and throw everyone off. I think there's so much more that I could still learn playing him, and I'll still play him in competitive from time to time. But one of the worst things is while I was reaching that diamond rank, everyone was dodging. Anytime I even hovered over Yoru, people would dodge. I don't understand why people don't like this character so much. I don't think he's that bad that it's worthy of a dodge, but you could prove me wrong down in the comment section. What do you guys think? Do you guys think he's good how he is? Does he need a nerf? Does he need a buff? Do you think he is ready for competitive level Valorant? So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope this guide is enough for you to jump in and start playing some Yoru. Tell me what you think of him. Maybe you want to main Yoru. Tell me how that goes. Thanks for sticking around for the whole video. If you want to see more content like this, consider subscribing, and I'll catch you next episode. Peace out.